I think it's a little cold for a little furry friend here. You ready to go? Come on. We're in Pretty Marsh Public Area, which is in desert. What is it? Mount Desert Island. On Mount Desert Island in Acadia. There's a couple little towns and villages around the island, so some of those are like municipal, but I think this is part of the national park. This is a very piney area, so I wanted to share it. We actually just walked up from that path there, kind of tempted to go back that way because I know what it looks like, but now I see this little picturesque trail, and it seems to lead back up toward where the vehicles park. So I want to see where this goes to. We're just getting our steps in, get a little exercise, a little sunlight, not too much sunshine today. It's about 40, 45, 48 degrees, somewhere in that range. It's pretty chilly. It's pretty windy too. You can probably hear the wind blowing through the trees in the background when it really kicks up. But it's shielding us from the brunt of it for now. I was just trying to explore the rest of the island. We've kind of done the Bar Harbor, Sandy Beach side of things, and then we did the a couple of the other villages, and there's a little ferry terminal on the southern part of the island, very near the lighthouse. Now that name's escaping me. Luna, what was the name of the lighthouse we saw this morning? Anyway, famous one, big attraction, tiny parking lot, kind of absurd. Kind of absurdly small for the size of the attraction that it is. You can see here we're coming out of the woods into the parking lot. Yeah, so we tried that last night for sunset. Well, that was never going to happen. It was just a line. There was more people in line to get into the parking lot than there were parking spaces. Homie don't play that. So we ended up starting our day there. We went out there for sunrise, and that was super nice. Also cold. I think I'm gonna do some of the street. We're parked just down there. Now, I don't want to make it my whole personality. I realize I've said this probably 100 times, but I haven't been able to smell or taste since I got COVID last year, I guess. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Could be a lot worse, much worse side effects from that nasty little bug. But occasionally I do smell stuff, and I guess it's just because of the amount of pine that's here, or maybe the type of pine. Let's go to the side here. This side. Come on. Maybe it's just the kind of pine, but I'm definitely smelling this. Maybe I should say I'm sensing it. It's not very strong. But I'm definitely picking up the pine notes. Man, what a great little look at this drive. I know this is just like a total geek thing to talk about, but it is nice. You can't deny that. Like if you had $1 million, arbitrary number, you know, and now you can have whatever you want and you get to design the driveway leading up to your manor. $1 million ain't gonna get you a manor these days, but if you could design a driveway, you telling me it wouldn't look like that? Of course it would look like that. Come on, man. So we started our day at the lighthouse, and that was nice, but it was cold. And then we just want to finish the circuit around the island. So now we're here on the western side, headed up north back toward, I think is the town of Tremont, that you pass through just before you get to Mount Desert Island. I'm trying to share some of these trees with you. It's really hard to show the depth of field. I mean, you got that yellow tree back there. It's a yellow tree. The leaves are yellow. Probably not even yellow. They just look yellow compared to the rest of the woods around them. I don't know, that's probably 80 yards, 80 meters, somewhere in that range. So you see all this just, it's almost like a diorama of little pine trees and different types too. Most of these are the same, but I probably see 2 or 3 different types. At least 2, maybe 3. I can't figure out what's up with that one. Oh, but I like this. I mean, I love the rest of the park. I love the changing colors on the leaves and stuff. But this sort of green and brown, pine, mossy, hilly, lush. Look at that. Look at all these. I thought these were ferns when we first drove in. They're all baby pine trees. I say baby pine trees. What is that, like a sapling or something like that? So, just want to share some of this with you. There's been a lot of really beautiful places. Not all of them very accessible. For all the love that I have for our national parks, man, when it's a big draw, and especially if it's during a peak type of season, it's rough. Hey Buns, you want to hop on this side? I want to see if she'll. I was gonna get some pictures of her, maybe do a little something with a little video with music, not a music video, like a reel or something like that for social media. But she's kind of into it now because she's sniffing around. She's found something, but when we were down there by the water, she was not having it. She kind of ran back toward me a couple times and just jumped up, knowing that I would catch her. So I think that was the cue to like get somewhere warmer. Hold on, let's get this car. But now that she's caught the scent, she's cool. Look at that. I'm using the front-facing camera on this camera phone, so I don't have the option of zooming in, but it goes so, it's just so, it's like something out of like a dream. It's like a fantasy. It's just all green. I guess that's all moss. I guess it's moss. I wouldn't know. I don't know the difference. Yeah, that's got to be some sort of moss, I'm guessing. But this is such a different environment from the rest of the island, because this is almost exclusively pines. Obvious exceptions, very colorful, obvious exceptions. And then a lot of the island also has pine and has a mix of whatever. But as far as like places that we've been able to get out of the vehicle, dismount, do a small patrol, this is probably This is probably the densest pine wood. Yeah. Come on, hop up here. I want to get you up here. I want to do some, make it a working lunch. Can you hop up? You want to go up this one? Look, what if you go up this one? Come on. She's not cooperating very much. She's sending a very strong signal. I just want to get some pictures of you up here. See, this has got to be what, moss, right? But even that, there's more than one kind of moss. So yeah, this is like the densest wooded area that I think we've been in. But man, look at that. Let's just go for a little. Let's go for a little stroll. Oh yeah, it's like walking on a. It's like walking on a cushion. It's so thick, and look at that tree trunk just consumed by moss. I mean, really everything is, but the tree trunk is pretty easy to identify. Baby trees, older trees, dead trees, fallen trees. Tunes, what if you wait there for me? Can you wait? See if I get a picture. I'll just do a screenshot. Wait there. I don't even know if are you in the... I should not have committed to doing this with the front-facing camera. Now I can't even see what I'm getting in the shot. Is she favoring that foot? Maybe she got a little pine needle or something. Let me see. But she's not favoring it when she's walking. Talk to me, Luna. You gotta let me know what's going down on the streets. I always worry about her. Always worry about her little paws there. So, you know, I mean, she does, well, she doesn't do quite as much walking as I do. She gets carried a lot, and justifiably so. Hey, can I see you real quick? Let me see. Can you stop? Let's see if she favors that foot. Let me see. She looks all right. She's putting her weight on it. I always worry about her little feet. But she doesn't ever, I mean, if she's ever been in pain or she's hurt her, she pulled her dew claw one time, like running around, got snagged on carpet. Horrible. I mean, it was not that horrible of an injury, but just a horrible way to get hurt. You know? I'm sure it wasn't comfortable. That dew claw eventually just came off, fell out. There's been a couple of other times where, like, she's, you know, maybe jumped off of something and hurt herself or whatever. So it's pretty obvious when she's in pain. She's pretty good about letting that be known. I don't know what to think about the litter situation. It's not a lot. It's just super obvious, you know, like, I don't know. Taking a dump in the middle of an office floor, you know? It's like, yeah, okay. It's not the end of the world, right? It's not like you burned the building down or anything, but seems like an obvious cry for help. So we'll set that. Maybe we'll grab that on the way out. This is also really rocky. I hope you're enjoying this walk. This is probably a better walk. I'm not breathing quite as heavy walking uphill like I was at the start. But you see the rocks. Here's some, what's the word, deciduous trees. This is a really beautiful part of a really beautiful park and island. And I'm really happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here. I'm always surprised that it's taken me as long to get to some of the places that I've been as it has. California was a big one. Like, how had I never been to the West Coast by that time in my life? So that was 6 years ago now. But how had I never been? Wow. It's like for real litter up here. I don't know what people are doing. I mean, I'm just saying, like, all right, I get it. You know, people are bums. Nothing people do surprises me anymore. But, on a real tip, like, like, of all the places to do it, this seems like the most offensive. And not in the sort of, social rebellion, political revolution sort of offensive. This just seems like, hey man, we're trying to make this place, keep this place nice for future generations. What's the dealio? See that can back there? So I am surprised that it's taken me as long to get here as it has. However, since I began moving about this beautiful land that we call home, these new places have come with more and more rapid succession. So we knocked out a lot of places on this trip up here. And these are all very small. This is New England. These are the part of the original 13 colonies, some of the states that we've been through. So states were much, much smaller than, say, a Texas or a California or an Alaska. So it's easy to move through them. In fact, we made a stop in New Hampshire, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, without even realizing New Hampshire had a coastline at all. I knew it was very close. Obviously, I knew it was nested in there between Massachusetts and Maine. But I didn't realize it had any coast, and it's a very small coast actually. It's only like 20 miles or something like that. Oh, this one found a slug, or a slug found this one. I don't think you want to be on here, Holmes. Hey, I'm gonna get rid of this slug real quick. Wait for me. Let's see. Yeah, we didn't mean to intrude. Yeah, go on. So we've checked a lot of places off the list just by being in a general vicinity. Anyway, my original point is that part of me is like surprised it's taken so long to see some of these places, because I've known of this place since I was a kid. I mean, if you have any love of nature or the outdoors, trees, you know, like North Houston's got a lot of pine trees. I'm very familiar with that as part of the, you know, day-to-day life. It doesn't sound like that's a big contributor, but it is when you're young and bored and living in a pre-internet age and not without endless financial resources. Pine cones and pine cone wars become part of your culture, in a manner of speaking. Also, you're not raking these leaves in the fall. You're raking pine needles. And they shed needles all year long, at least those types of pines. And of course the smell and everything. So this is almost a bit of what you might call nostalgia for me. So having known this has been here, I'm gonna be totally honest, the name really sells it for me too. It's like Acadia. What kind of word is that? I don't know. I like words that sound very intentional and present, like intentional in the sense that, hey, let's make a, you know, I don't know, let's make a word that sounds like something. Of course, it's probably just some little utterance that got more and more sophisticated through its evolution. But I like the word. I like Acadia. I like Asilomar. I like this side. Come on, this side. So between that and everything else, there's always been a draw to come here. So I'm very, very happy to finally be here. I bet it gets so cold here. I bet it gets so cold in the winter. Not because of the cold, because of the wind. I lived in Oklahoma for a while. Oklahoma gets really cold. Maybe not as cold as here. It doesn't have to be sub-zero temperatures to be cold enough to cause physical harm. But I think I see a gazebo back there, or a picnic area of some sort. Let's see if we make our way over there. Let's go back through here. This looks nice. But the wind in Oklahoma just comes across the plains. I assume, that's what I imagine. It's not like I can really tell you that with any authority. But common sense dictates all that wind is moving through. Man, look at this. Luna, you gotta see this, man. Look how nice this is. I'm trying to go over to that gazebo. What if you go this way and I'll go that way? Can you do that for me? Come on this way. I want to get you up this way. Come on. Can you go this way? Yeah, she's definitely. Come on this side. Yeah, she's doing all right. I think she just wants to be. She didn't get a lot of sleep either. Well, I guess she probably slept plenty, but I'm a bit of a night owl, so I'm making noise all through the night. And then we got up super early. And by got up, I mean, I don't think we quite ever went to sleep. I'm saying we collectively. I think she sleeps pretty good. She's usually at my feet in these temperatures in a sleeping bag. Yes, my queen. Okay, that's where we're going. That's what I was waiting for you for. I was just hoping to get a picture. So she's down by my feet, nice and warm, dark, relatively quiet. I guess that's got to be a little sound insulation, you know. Comfortable, you know. She when we're car camping, you know, that's basically that amounts to her living quarters. So, but at any rate, whether we went to sleep, whether we got a considerable amount of sleep or not, we definitely got up early. I got up really early, got dressed, started the truck. Yeah, this is legit right here. Give me that structure. I could do something with this. You imagine having pine trees? You imagine all these pine trees just being covered in snow in the wintertime? Or having these little splashes of color. Can I say that? Through the pines. And they blossom in spring, and then there's I'm sure they've got different shades of green once they've come in for the year, and then just slowly start to turn to these other colors. And then just all be covered in snow. Look, if you take something like this, now we can debate how much space an individual needs, because I know people do need their individual space. But how much space? I don't know. Yeah, come on. Hop up here on this table. Let's get dog feet on the table. Why don't you? How much space an individual needs? I mean, this with this space here. Yeah, come on. I'm with you. Oh, come on, hop up. Yep, there you go. She wants to be. Yeah, I think she's mopey because she's wants some more sleep, and I get that. I get that, Luna. We'll be back in the truck in a minute. Maybe. Don't let me promise anything. You got this little piece right here. All that rock, all that nature. But with something like this, yeah, that's more than enough space for me as an individual. And I would argue, depending on your living arrangement, that's probably sufficient space for a couple of people. And again, I've tilted the meter for modern day people. I'm sure, if we were all trying to huddle together on the tundra and living in much different conditions, you could fit quite a few people in this, obviously. But to have like a sitting space and a cooking space and a sleeping space, obviously you're going to want some I mean, I don't know, that's another thing. I'm factoring in a restroom. Obviously I'm going to put in a restroom, right? I'm not a psychopath, right? I mean, I'm not going to have guests over and I don't have a proper water closet, right? Why would you even think that? I mean, we only lived that way for all of history and prehistory. Well, not all of history, obviously, but, But of course, you're going to put a bathroom in there. But still, that's enough room. That's enough room. Then again, people kind of like a big bathroom. Shower, sink, toilet. Man, this is great. This is super. Enjoy the views. What do you think over here, Luna? There is that little bit of road noise. I know, that's what I was just saying, that there's road noise. It's not ideal, kind of hard to complain about. I mean, you got to get here somehow, right? We came on the road. But apart from that, this is, if you didn't hear that, this would be a great little spot for a full moon ceremony. Of course, you're not going to see all this at night, but it is nice to wander around something like this. This is this is great. Anyway, I'm talking in circles now. But here we are. What did we say this place was called? Pleasant, sunny, happy, Pleasant Marsh. Oh, she's jumping up without warning. Something like that. It's on the west side, kind of north and west, mostly west. Right on the edge of the island, right at the shore of the water. And I can't remember if that's the Gulf of Maine or if it's some inlet or harbor right there where we are on the map now. But we're definitely on that side of the island. And we pretty much walked through at least the whole road and some of the woods down to the water's edge. I would have loved to have shown the water's edge, but it was pretty. I had not found a place to get down there yet. Everything was like a pretty steep slide on pine needles. You're not gonna win that battle. Check these guys out. Just think, somebody. I think these take about. Well, I don't know these kinds of pine trees, but the ones that I pretend to know about, I think they take like, they're fully mature in like 20 years maybe. So yeah, these are not the pine trees I grew up with. I think a lot of these are spruce, but obviously there's other kinds. So let's step to the side here. Left side here, come on. But these are, see, that's a whole other one, unless it's just a funky looking one. But just think in 20 or 30 years, and then, I don't know, I think some of the ones, well, I don't know. I'm not gonna pretend to know how long they live. But somebody 30, 40, 50 years from now, not me, presumably, is going to be walking around here taking pictures of all those baby trees. All these baby trees. All of these. Well, obviously not all of those are going to be around 50 years from now. But a couple of them will, and somebody will be here documenting it, talking about how nice Acadia is, and well, who's to say what else we'll be making current news at that time. So yeah, you ready to go back to the truck? I see you looking at me a lot. I hope you're telling me everything that you need to tell me. I think she just wants to lay down. She's probably just tired. We honestly have not been walking that much. It's cold. It's getting dark early. Sunset's about 6 o'clock. It's been raining pretty consistently, like not every day, not all day, but you never know when. But that rain can eat up a big part of your day. The other day we were in the truck all day long, and I finally, waiting for the rain to stop, and I finally decided, nah, we're just gonna have to go brave it a little bit, just so she can go outside and see to all her biological functions, obviously. Oh, that was nice though. It's nice when it rains and it's cold and there's nothing, I want to say, and there's nothing to do, and you don't feel so bad for not doing anything. In reality, I've always got it running in the back of my head. It's like, well, if you can't be out there doing that thing, you could be in here doing this thing. But that's a whole other saga I will save for my therapist. But it was nice to just lounge. This is like, I mean, it's October here. If you get this weather in Houston in November, late November, you're doing pretty good. If you have this in December and January, it's kind of nice. Come on this side here. It's pretty nice. Say hey, monkey. Say hey. Say hey, where you going? Where you going with Illinois plates? If you can have weather like this in December, yeah, that's primo. You get to break out a little hoodie, because Houston's pretty much hot all the time, a lot of the time. So anyway, where's that going with that? It was nice to just be stuck in the vehicle in a super warm sleeping, it's not a super warm sleeping bag, but I've got some layers on there. There we go. Now she's doing something. Oh, I love when she's on the scent. What is it? We took off walking last night from that little ferry terminal parking lot. Oh, she's on to something big time. If she's doing all that, we're gonna have to go investigate. She's gonna come back with a bone of some sort. Well, she's not really a big scavenger like that, but sometimes she'll find things that pique her interest. Anyway, we went walking from that terminal last night. Okay. All right. All right. Looks like maybe, first thought is like fecal matter, but upon further inspection, it's a lot of leaves. So maybe it's, what do they call those? Dolmas? I don't think she would have been attracted to that. But the fact that they're I mean, either they were eaten like that and they passed like that, or just laughing now. I'm thinking now, what if that was a human remnant? That would be a real bummer, getting that. Come on this side. Getting so close to it. I'm assuming it was in animals. I don't really have any anecdotal evidence to make me think that she would ever be attracted to human waste. She hasn't. She's pretty repulsed by it. Short switching tracks on you here. The first time I went to San Francisco, I loved it so much. And this was, COVID was going on. What else was going on? Oh, there was a forest fire there. It was like really, really big. Just a few days, couple days. It was still ongoing. It was still going on when I was there, but the couple of days prior, it had been so bad that like San Francisco was just bathed in, sort of reddish hue. But anyway, I loved it. It was a really good time. The first time seeing the Golden Gate Bridge, the fact that like the fog was just like moving through, and the foghorn, the fog sound to alert boats that there's a bridge here because you can't see it for all the fog. Like, it was like you couldn't have dreamed up a better introduction to a city. Great weather. Anyway, I knew she was in my life by then, and I knew I wanted to take her. Does that look like a limp to you? She is moving kind of weird. Let me take her jacket off. Hey, can I get your jacket? We're almost back to the truck. Can I get this? I just want to watch how you walk. Maybe it's just the material bunching up. Let's see how you do. So I knew I wanted to take her there. And I did. That following year, 2021, we wound up over there sometime in the first part of the year. Sometime between January and March, I guess. We were there for the first time together. She wasn't happy. Because it was just probably... It's so funny because it sounds like a cliche. Of course it happens, but it happens everywhere. But you just think of like people using the restroom on the street. And that's any crowded city. And that's not to say I don't have an opinion about it, but you throw 1 million people in a little piece of geography together, you're going to get a little bit of everything, right? So she was kind of overwhelmed that first time that we were there. She was not, where did we stay? I know where we stayed. She was overwhelmed, and a lot of it was just the scents and the smells on the ground. And not dog smells, okay? Because those she will investigate. That's why I'm thinking that was animal waste back there, if it was waste at all. I have no idea what it was. Maybe it was a freaking body snatcher, just a zygote pod for a body snatcher. Movie reference, sorry. So anyway, she would just be walking and then hop, and then just walking a little bit and just like real avoidant. Stay right there. Just very, hey, stay on this side. Just very not thrilled, and it did overwhelm her. We ended up having to go to Mill Valley right across the Golden Gate Bridge, and it's a lot like this. It's very, very, very much like this. Different trees, of course, different terrain, but very much like you're in it. You're Oh! Anyway, so I would find it extremely difficult to believe that she went all the way back there, sniffed that thing out from the road, and led a campaign to investigate it if it was human. Having said that, assuming it's animal product, whatever it is, it could also be maybe like vomit. I don't know. Is that a thing? You don't think it was like a... I'm thinking like... Because it definitely looked like leaves. I'll have to go back and look at it. Look, you can... I don't know if you can see like these little pine needles, but this is like spruce. Or I don't know. Is this a fir, Luna? Is this fir? You see, these are falling out of whenever the wind blows. These fall out. Now, that's not the pine needles I grew up with. You're not going to be interested in that. See, she's kind of... Give me that paw. Give me a right paw. Yeah, okay. She's putting her weight on it. You okay? What if I held this one and made you walk back to the truck like that? Yeah, she's not like... It might be sore. But you see how her tail's down and she's hunched over? She just cold, man. She don't like it. What the hell, man? What kind of dog don't like being out in this weather? I say that, but I'm like, I got 2 layers on top and bottom. So I was just thinking, like, would an owl throw that up? Or a bird of any sort? Hawk. I don't know. Who knows? Listen, they're partying down there. Somebody's having a barbecue, which good for them. Because you really gotta trek. You gotta bring your stuff down there. So if you want it, you're gonna have to bring it. And then of course you gotta bring it all back out too, because there's waste bins up here. But there's Gold member holding it down for us. Oh, hold on. You can hop up here if you want. I'm gonna go make this loop though. Do you want to go with me? Let's make the loop just so we can show the kids at home. So this is like the end of the road here. Comes to a point, obviously, you're gonna stay right with the traffic, and then it just loops right around. But this little island of trees like that. It's just this one little island. This is like how you figure out the population density of a city or anything else. You just get a little sample size and then you multiply it. You say, all right, well, if it's this dense here, then it's probably this dense throughout. And then rather than count every tree, you'd count a little piece this big, probably a little bit bigger. Yeah, see, this is some pine and this is pine. But those look like different bark almost, don't they? Or is that one just got something going on? No, I guess they're the same. You got your moss down here. You got your saplings. Look at this, is like a cedar, right? And there's got to be, I don't know. I really don't know pine trees by name like that. This is the little fire road that goes down. That's how we got down there in the first place. But I'm just going to take you on this loop here. Yeah, she's ready. She's ready to go. She likes trailing. Like I said, last night we went walking out from that little spot, from that ferry station. And because she was ready to go, she was the one that was stir crazy. I was in for the night, but she wanted to go out a while. I was like, what am I going to say? Just sit on it till morning? So we went outside. I'm supposed to be showing you this little island. So we went outside and we walked, I don't know, maybe only a mile, half mile out. And by that time I was like, hey man, I ain't trying to be out here in the, it was cold like it is now. And it was windy. It was so windy last night. So I made an executive decision and we went back to the vehicle. And I think that was enough. And she went down and looked around the ferry and stuff like that. But look, she's gonna try and hop in their car. Anything just to get warm. So yeah, she likes being on the trail. I think she's just over probably the wind more than the the weather more than the actual temperature. Got these little picnic tables up here. Got some trash here. Clean up on aisle 2, I guess, back there. Hey, you couldn't have done that in the woods? Because she's sending a strong. She's making me an offer I can't refuse. Yeah, I just want to do this little loop real quick, just to show you. We may never be back here again. That's the other thing. It's like it's not anticlimactic in any sense, but I get so stretched between the idea that, wow, I can't believe it's taken me this long to see some of these places. Not just every place, right? You're not going to see every place in the world, most likely. You're not. Very rare the human being that can say that they've been to so many places. It's usually a pretty good stroke of luck and a lot of determinism to avoid the cultural norms. Big time. For better or worse. Hey, come this way. I want to get a picture of you right here on this rock to show everybody how majestic you look. Come on up here. A little hunched over back. See, as long as I get her moving, come on this way. And maybe get that car out of there. Do you want to go to the car? I see you're shivering a little bit. Yeah, we can go back. Here, let's just do a short trail. Can we do short one? I can see the truck from here. We'll just go right around. So I'm stretched between. Come on, man. You know you want to be here. Look at this. Look at this. Look, even the tree stump is covered in moss. Man, the earth is healing. Nature really be knowing what she's doing. Nature really do be knowing what she's doing. I think that's what I meant to say. There's a whole, almost a dinner plate size mushroom. Fungus, and you got to know it's just running through this whole tree. You don't see it all, and it's connected to something else over here, and it's probably, you could probably find another one of those, and you don't know it. And why would you know it? I mean, it's not obvious to the naked eye, and unless you have sufficient time to sit there and investigate, or it's what your doctorate is in, you would never have the resources and the time and the ambition to figure that out. But you can do a little bit of reading on mycelia and fungus and realize that it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So I'm stretched between not believing it's taken me so long to see some of these places, and at the same time, same place, wherever you any name, Acadia. Wow, I can't believe it's taken this long to get here. And am I ever going to be here again? Who knows? But what a beautiful, beautiful place. Hey, if you could be quiet for like 10 seconds so I can end this video without whining, that would be great. I guess not. Well, pretty sweet, huh? Greetings from Acadia.